Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big happy family. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments, your loving support, always. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to mention, if the video is too fast for you on any of them, in the description box there's a link, 2-minute video, how to slow down the speed of the video, and also to turn your closed caption on. So the stitches I'm calling will be written down here. You can pause, read, and take notes. I don't write patterns. I get asked that a lot. For the most times, I use 2.75 hooks, depending upon the thread I'm using, 3.5, or the pattern that I want to create to go bigger or not. And that's what you should do. For people that have tight stitch, use a size of hook bigger or 2 size bigger. And for people that have a loose stitch, you should go a little bit 1 or 2 size smaller. So a small one to tuck in loose ends and a pair of scissors. I do have a private crochet group that you're more than welcome to join as long as you have a profile. Also follow me on my crochet page on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're stuck on any projects, you could always message me through there. I'd like to mention that a lot of you sometimes ask me about my threads. These are Portugal threads. I am in Europe. They're 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. And they sell, it's $12, making the exchange, $12, 100 grams, which are balls like this. Okay, it's about 300 to 325 yards. Minimum of order of 6 balls. Okay, so we're going to get started. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It's free of charge. You don't pay for that, and it helps us creators tremendously. And if you watch the video, and if you're not a creator or don't crochet, because I know some of you don't but love to watch my videos, please do give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And if there is short commercials, just watch the little small commercials. I don't want you to be wasting your time in 5-10 minute commercial, but it does help the channel again itself. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Thank you so much. And for the women that have been donating, for the women in need of thread, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for your tips also, thank you so much. And for the ones that are considering to do so to help the women in need of thread, please consider so. My PayPal account is in the description box also. If you want to give it through there, if you want to give it through the little thank you bag underneath the video, you can. The only difference is that YouTube takes 30% of that money that you're donating. Okay, let's get started, everyone. Okay, everyone. So I've decided that I wanted to create an oval centerpiece, table centerpiece, runner, if you want to call it, in the same style as I just finished doing the round. Show you here so you guys can, the flower, for some of you that follow me already know what I'm talking about. This one that I just launched, which is a design from our dearest friend, Vanessa Marcones, and one of her followers, I think it's Sabrina, her name, not sure anyway, did the etching. So, but I am going to create an oval one, so make it my own pattern, right? So hopefully I can do it. I'm going to try my best. I don't know how many flowers, by the way, for some of you that are just coming in and seeing this, and you're probably like, oh my God, where's the link to that? I will leave the link below in the description box, and also to the flowers if you want to create these flowers. These are like little granny squares for the people who are just coming in. And you can use any flower you like as long as you have 8 loops in the back. That's how we created our granny square, with 8 loops. Any flower will do to attach into the pattern. Okay, so 100% cotton thread. I'll be using, of course, the flowers in blue. With these are 8mm beads. I'll be using the white, and definitely we'll be having probably my edging like the other pattern in blue to finish it off. Hopefully I can get this right. It's always a challenge when you're creating something without being on paper. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to cheat a bit on the stitching because, you don't write these amounts on paper. I don't write these amounts on paper. So sometimes you have to skip or cut down stitches or add. But everything is possible. So 2.75 hook, small one to tuck in loose ends, and a pair of scissors. If you're using Aunt Lydia number 3, remembering your pattern will be bigger because my thread, it's a 4-ply, similar to Aunt Lydia number 3, but mine's a little bit thinner. So my patterns become a little bit smaller. If your stitch is too tight, go a hook or two higher than your normal size. If you're too loose, go a hook or two smaller than your normal size so you can get the perfect stitch in there, or else you're going to have it like a wave, or it's going to pull too much and going to be bulky, and it's a nightmare, right? So I want to do it similar with the centerpiece design, which, by the way, I have done many placemats with this design here, okay? So I'm going to try to create this into the oval one just to get it matching up a little bit. Some people like it to be oval. And by the way, I know that some of you are going to request for that oval one. So I might as well get it prepared now, okay? So we're going to get started. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It's free. With my flowers, I have the royal blue and I have the slime green. Here goes in Europe, well, in Europe, in my country, in Portugal, it goes, this brand especially goes by number and not name of color, okay? So this is a lime green color 22 4-ply. Okay, and we're going to get started. Thank you, everyone. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to do the slip stitch knot, and I'm going to do 1 2 3 4. I'm going to see how long I want this runner to be, so you could always fast forward, and I'll let you know how many chain stitch I am going to do. Okay, you guys, so I've done 72 chain stitch, okay? I'm going to come on my 5th chain, so count, not the one on the hook, 1 2 3 4 on my 5th chain. I'm going to do double crochets, and I'm going to do 1 per space. Make sure that you grab both loops or it's going to curve. So what I'm talking about, both loops, you guys can see we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3 strings here. If you go through this last one here, you can see that you're grabbing these 2 loops together. This will make sure that your pattern stays straight line and not curve like a U shape, okay? So we're going to continue 1 double crochet per stitch until the end, and I'll let you know how many I have reached at the end. Okay, everyone, so I have 69. As you can see, it stays nice and flat, straight, 69 double crochets, okay? So now, on the same stitch we did the last one, I'm going to do an increase of 6 more double crochets, all in the same space. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So all in the same space, I should have a total of 7 double crochets. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, going on to the next double crochet, so not the one that's in the space here. We don't want to continue going in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So make sure you don't put it in there. Into the next double crochet, we're going to do double crochet. Now remembering what you do on one side, you must do on the other side. Make sure that you're not skipping any double crochet. Sometimes it's tricky and we can skip by mistake. But sometimes, you know, if it does happen, you could always add 2 at the end. Okay, you don't have to take it down. So 1 per double crochet. When we get to this corner here, which I'll meet you there anyway, we must do the increase also. Okay. Okay, everyone. So not counting the 7 we did there, but the one right after, I have 67 double crochets. With this one would be, will be, not would, would be, it will be. Okay, so I need to come in here. So 68 with this last one. Now we're going to do again on the same space 7 double crochets all together. That means I'm having my increase of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because I've counted already from the one that we went at the 68th one. Now I'm going to come in, close it on the third one here. Okay, so now we have the same increase, 7 on this side and 7 on the other side. Okay, so I'm coming over to the next double crochet with a single. And I'm going to do 2 chain. I'm coming into the next space, double crochet, into the next one, double crochet, 1 chain space. I'm skipping a space and going into the next one. We're going to proceed this way until the edge there. 3 double crochet groups, skip a space into the next one, 1 chain space between these groups. One chain, skip a space into the next one. So this would be row 2, row 1, row 2, okay? We'll do this all the way until the edge. Okay, everyone, so I reached the end and it hit me exactly on the last one here. I have, just to make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 groups, 1 chain space. I'm coming into the next, which is the first one inside of the 7 double crochets. And we're going to do an increase of 2 double crochet in the same stitch, next space, 2 double crochet again. So this is my second increase, next space, 2 double crochet again, my third increase. And on my 4th double crochet here, I'm doing 1 double crochet only. And then continuing to do the 2 double crochet increase on the next stitch. So 1 increase, my second increase, so 2 in the same stitch, and my third increase. Okay, so in the group of 7 double crochet, your first double crochet, 2 together, your second double crochet, 2 together, your third, 2 together, your fourth, 1 double crochet alone, your 5th, 6th, and 7th, 2 double crochet together, and then 1 chain space, coming in that first double crochet. So you got to make sure that we're properly lined up so we can have the right amounts. And start creating your groups again. One chain, skip a space into the next one. If you did it properly, you're supposed to end up in the right direction where we have the groups on the other side. Okay, so it just lines up perfectly. One chain, skip a space into the next one. We're going to do this all the way to the end the same way. And remembering, we must do the same thing on this corner here by adding exactly what we just did here on this side. And I'm going to continue to complete my round and meet you at the end. So this is row 2. Okay, so I've reached the end and it matches just perfect. One chain. I'm coming into that first one that's inside of the 7, creating 2 together. That's my first increase. On the second double crochet, 2 together again. The third double crochet, 2 together. And on the fourth, 1 alone, 1 double crochet alone. On the fifth, 2 together. On the sixth, 2 together. Okay, let me see if I have this right. I gotta make sure this is right. 2, 3. Okay, so I have my 1, 2. Now I can see that I have an extra one here already to start off. So what I'm going to do, instead of putting the 2 together, I'm just going to put 1 per space just to fill it in. And sometimes this is what happens when you have to adjust a bit. Okay, 1 chain space in between them. Okay, so we're pretty good now. I'm going to do 1, 2. Actually, no, I'm going to come in with a single because that's how I start off my double crochet. So I'm coming back in the same space with a single, 2 chain, and 1 chain for space. Coming into the next one, I'm creating those groups of 3 double crochets. So this row, we're always going to alternate the rows. One row will have the groups of 3. Next row will have only 1 double crochet there. Next row will build 1 double crochet on top and 2 inside. So we'll build the group. I'm sure that a lot of you that follow me have seen me create a lot of times the beginning of a pattern this way. Okay, if your stitch is too tight, you can do a 2 chain. Okay, coming into the next one. And if I find that it's too tight, I will do 2 chain also. So far, so good. But if I see if it's starting to pull, I will add 2 chain instead of 1. Okay, so we're doing the groups again of the the groups of 3 double crochet, 1 chain space. When I get to the end here on this last group, I'll be doing the 3 double crochets here, 1 chain and 1 double crochet only on this side and again on that side. So the 4 corners will have only 1 double crochet. I'll meet you at the end just to make sure you understood me. Okay, you guys, so we're reaching the last group. 1 chain, coming on the last double crochet with 1 double crochet only, exactly how we started here. So the 4 corners will be that way. 1 chain. I'm coming in the first double crochet with 1 double crochet. On my second one, I'm doing 2 together in the same stitch. Next one, 1 alone. So I'm going to have 6 increases in this corner. Next one, 2 together. Okay, so 1 double crochet alone, 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together. That's my second increase. Coming in again, 1 double crochet alone. Where we have also the double crochet alone from the second row, it's going to be 1 double crochet, right? So I have my third increase. Here we have that 1 double crochet alone. I'm doing 1 alone. Coming into the next one, 1 alone again. So basically you have 2 alone here on the center and 2 together on the next space. So now we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 double crochet, next space, 2 together. This is 5, oops, 1 double crochet, and on my last one here, 2 together. So that's my 6th increase. Okay, so we start off with 1 double crochet alone on the first double crochet on the second row, second double crochet, 2 together, third double crochet, 1 alone, fourth double crochet, 2 together, fifth double crochet, 1 alone, sixth double crochet, 2 together, seventh double crochet, 1 alone, eighth double crochet, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together. So we have 6 increases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. 1 chain coming here, doing 1 double crochet alone. 1 chain coming inside of the space, create your groups. Okay, and I'll meet you at the end. We must repeat the same count on the other edge, okay? Okay, you guys, I've reached the end. I've done my last double crochet on the last one of the group. 1 chain coming in the first one, 1 double crochet alone. Next one, 2 together. Next one, 1 double crochet alone. Next one, 2 together. So we'll have 6 increases on this side also. Next one, 1 alone. Next one, 2 together. Next one, 1 alone. So we have 1, 2, 3, and again on the one that's alone, it's 1 alone. Next one, 1 alone. And on the second one here, which is not hard to see because it's where you have that group, 2 together. So we have 4 increase, 1 alone, 2 together. That's 5 increase, 1 alone, and on my last one, 2 together. That's my 6th increase. 1 chain coming in. There's my single and 2 chain on my second chain. Okay. Now, like I said, as far as this, we're going to keep repeating the same thing. So I'm going to come back in again, single, 2 chain. That's my first double crochet, and 2 inside of the space to create my group again. So we're always going to have a line going up. 1 chain, create your groups. That's always going to stay the same for a few rows until we're ready to start with the edging. Okay, so 1 chain space, your 3 double crochet, 1 chain, your 3 double crochet. Remembering that what we're doing on this side, we have to do on the other. So you know that all 4 corners will have 1 double crochet on top of double crochet and 2 inside of the space to create that 3 groups. So we'll have it here also. We'll have 2 inside of here and 1 on top of that double crochet, on top of double crochet, and 2 inside of here. But anyway, I'll meet you at the other edge. Okay, everyone, getting into the last one. So I'm coming in, doing 2 double crochets and 1 on top of the double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 row. Okay, 1 chain. I'm going to skip the first one, and I'm coming in where I have the groups. I'm going to do 1 double crochet. On the second double crochet, I'm going to do an increase of 2 together. 1 chain space, skipping the first one, going into the second one, doing 1 double crochet, and on the second double crochet where we did the increase, doing 2 together. 1 chain, skipping the first one, coming into the next one with 1 double crochet, on the next one, 2 together. 1 chain. We're always going to have an increase of 6 groups, okay? Skipping 1 into the next one. So on these ones here, we have 2 alone, okay? So I'm going to skip 1 and 2, and I'm coming in the third one and doing 1 double crochet and 2 together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 chain, skip the first one into the next one. This is my 5th increase. Whoops. Fifth increase, 1 chain, skip a space into the next one, and this is my 6th increase. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 chain coming in where we have the double crochet, doing double crochet over double crochet, 2 inside of the space to create that group, because we're always going to have a line straight up. 1 chain, and you must do exactly the same thing on the other corner. Okay, so those 2 that are alone here, we skip them completely and come in the first one of the group with 1 double crochet, and on the second one 2 together. So you have your 6 increases. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've done this corner also, and I've skipped these 2 double crochets we have here. Okay, another thing is, if you find that it's too tight, your stitch on the corner, and it starts like pulling or curving, then do a 2 chain on your corners only if you want to keep just with 1 chain on the sides. So 1 chain space, I'm coming on my second double crochet from the very first one I went up, single and 2 chain. Coming back in, so we're going to repeat again the groups. Now, of course, remember I told you at the beginning, 1 row is group, 1 row double crochet, 1 row is group. So now we know we have only a double crochet. So single 2 chain is my first double crochet, and 1 chain for me for space. But some of you might be doing a 2 chain space. So that means that you do your single, your 2 chain, and 2 more for space. So you'll have a total of single and 4 chain. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end, remembering that all 4 corners now will have only 1 double crochet on the last double crochet on both sides, because both sides have to be equally the same. Okay, so I'll meet you again at the other edge. Okay. Okay, everyone, so pretty much did all my little groups, my 1 chain, my 1 alone. Here we're going to increase again. So it's just going to be a repeat now of the same thing on the sides. 1 row of group, 1 double crochet, groups, double crochet. And here we're always going to increase 2 double crochets at the end, 1 chain. If you need to do a 2 chain, go ahead. People's tensions are different. Some can get away with 1 chain and some can't. So there is no rules about this, of adding chains or increasing, decreasing, right? You have to do what works for you. So 1 chain space between the group, that's always the same thing, and 1 increase at the end. We'll be doing the same thing on the other side. I'm going to do this for the next few rows, always an increase at the end, and always the row of group, 1 double crochet, group, 1 double crochet. You can fast forward. You should always watch the video before you create anything anyway. Always look ahead before you do the next row, just to make sure that there is no mistakes or changes, because that's commonly to happen. We're human. And I don't know how many rows it's going to take, but I need to do a few to get that motive that I want to out of this one here. So I think I have 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So I have 13. That means I am going to most probably do the same thing here. I'll see how big this is going to go. So far we have 4. I believe I'm going to go until I have 13. Okay, so you can fast forward and see how many rows I've done. It's just a repeat now. Okay, everyone. So I've done 12 rows altogether, starting from the first row. And I've completed with a group. Okay, we're going to do this 13th row only double crochets. Everywhere we have a chain, we're doing 1 double crochet. We are still going to add 2 together at the end. So we're going to add the 2 together on the last one still, and 1 per stitch, 1 per double crochet, and 1 inside of the 1 chain space. So single, 2 chain. It's just double crochets all the way around, 1 inside of the chain space, and then again 1 per double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet you at the edge. Okay, so I've reached where the motive is. I'm still doing my increase and 1 inside of the 1 chain space. Okay, so continue on the same way, 1 per stitch, and doing your increase, 2 together on the last one. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've done all of my double crochets. If I'm not mistaken by my count, I think I have 284. I know I have to be with even numbers in order to keep adding the flower squares in. But if I'm missing, I'll just cheat, no issues, and we're good to go. So I'm going to cut my thread because we have to start with the flowers. So I'm going to tuck in my little thread back here. Now this might have to go to a second video because it takes a lot of memory. There's a lot of details. If some of you recall on the other pattern, it was a lot of little details at the edge. So, and I have to explain it carefully or you're going to get all lost, right? So I rather put it onto 2 videos than rushing things and then you're going to be stuck and not understand. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is start the row on your granny square here. So I'm going to do only 3 double crochets. So single, 2 chain, that's my first, my second, and my third double crochet. We'll complete it once we come around the pattern. Okay, 1 chain. I'm coming into the next one and doing 3 double crochet, 1 chain. Again, 3 double crochet, 1 chain, 3 double crochet. We're at the corner, so I started with 1 corner, but we'll only complete when we come around. Okay, everyone, so I'm on this side of the pattern, and I'm going to start right on the last, or the first double crochet here, I should say, okay, where the motive is. I'm going to start adding here. On the round, we're going to skip only by 2s, okay? On the edges, I think we have to skip by 3 because it's not round, right? So where we have that first double crochet here, I've done my 1 chain on my corner. I'm coming in and doing a single, okay? I'm going to come back in and complete my 3 double crochets for that corner, okay? I'm going to skip, as you can see here, we hooked on here, so I'm going to skip 1, 2 space coming into the third. This will be on the edges only, okay? We're going to skip 2 and do a single, coming back in, creating my 3 double crochets, okay? Again, skipping 1, 2, coming in my third, and into the front. We're not doing chain stitch because the single is already enough for 1 chain stitch space, okay? Again, 1, 2 on my third one, and then coming into the corner, okay? So doing three double crochet, 1 chain only, and skip 1, 2, coming into the third one. Now, this first granny, we pretty much attach it to the pattern 1 time only, but the next one we attach it here to the granny and into the pattern. So will always be attached twice. Only the first one is attached once, okay? 1 chain space. So I completed my last 3 double crochet for the corner. I'm doing 3 double crochet here and 1 chain space between them, okay? 1 chain coming in, 3 double crochet. We're going to keep adding as we're going without cutting any thread, and doing 1 at a time would take forever. So we're doing it this way. 1 chain. The top we do not do now, only when we have all of the granny squares in, then we come around the last row and complete the top. So you would take another granny square. So on this corner, we only do 3 double crochet. You're going to turn it to the back. Actually, you're going to do 1 chain, turn it to the back, and come into the corner of the next granny square and do 3 double crochet only. This belongs to the top part, okay? So we're not doing that yet. Back to back with granny square, coming directly, no chain space, and doing single. Your single is a chain space coming into the front square, granny square, and doing your 3 double crochet, going into the back and attaching onto the next, to the other granny square, coming into the front, doing the 3 double crochets, into the back, and coming into the corner. Now here in the corner you have to pay attention. We're doing 3 double crochets here, okay? We're going to do a single on the middle of the corner here, so still back to back. We have the 2 chain here in the center. We're doing 1 single here, and also a single where we've attached the first granny square on the same space, okay? Single. So that's your 2 chain already. Coming back in, doing completing that corner with the 3 double crochet. And now we're always going to add 2 sides of the granny square. So we've completed the second corner. Coming back in again, we're going to skip 1, 2 into the third one, single, come back in and do your 3 double crochet. Again, skip 1, 2 space, come into the third one, and complete your 3 double crochet. Skip again 1, 2 space, come into the third one, and come into the corner. Now remembering that the corners we don't complete, we only do 3 double crochet and ready to attach onto the next granny. So we did the 3, 1 chain, grab the next granny, and do 3 double crochets on the next one. And this is how we're going to attach the edges, by skipping 2 space. Back, oops, no, we still have to complete here, sorry. Guess I'm getting ahead of my game, ain't I? Sorry about that. Okay, so we have to 1 chain, my goodness, 1, 2 on the third one, single. So 1 chain and the single makes your 2 chains for the corners, right? So now we do the 3 double crochet to complete that third corner, 1 chain, and complete the side here. 1, 2, and 3. 1 chain space, and again 1, 2, and 3. 1 chain, and here the fourth corner we don't do the shell here, okay? 1 chain. Now we're ready to attach. I guess Maggie's in a rush, isn't she? Okay, so we're going into the corner of the other granny square. We've done 1 chain, and do your 3 double crochets, okay? So remember, the first corner we don't complete, and the last one we don't complete. So I'm coming in, let's not get a mistake, coming in the first space, single, and repeat the same thing. We're going to attach on this side like an L shape, and on the other side to the pattern. Your 3 double crochet, your single, come into the front, do your 3 double crochets, into the granny square, and again here we are on the second corner doing that shell. So 3 double crochet, remembering we're doing no chain, we're coming directly in that other double crochet, other square, and doing where we have the shell here on that one, right? And then attaching into where we had attached that granny square on the same space. So you have 2 singles on there, right? Coming back in and doing your 3 double crochets. So we'll be attaching to the granny square and also to the pattern. 1, 2, and again on your third space, and continue to do the 3 double crochet, one, 2, single, come to the front, 1, 2, and 3, and again skip 1, 2 into the third one, guess the dogs are seeing some cats. So 3 double crochet, we're going to do the attachment. So 1 chain, skip 1, 2 into the third one, and single, and then come and complete your third corner, 1 chain, and complete the side here with 3 double crochet and 1 chain space. This pretty much you're preparing this side for the attachment of the next granny square, right? That's why we're doing that one chain space, so we can a little red linen from my other thread, 1 chain space so we can attach the other granny square. 1 chain, and this is the fourth corner, which we do not complete. We do 3 double crochet, 1 chain, and ready to attach again the next square by doing the 3 double crochet back to back with the square into the first space with single, and you continue on. We don't do any chain space here because we're doing single. That's replacing the chain space, right? Into the next one. Anyway, and it goes on. So this is what the corner is going to look like. It's going to be perfect. It's not going to pull because it's rounded, right? But on the edge, we might have to skip 3 space because it's edging, and edging, if we skip only 2, it's going to crumple up too much. Okay, so I'm going to go with the flow, and as soon as I get here, as soon as I finish on the other side to get here, I think it's going to take 2 more flowers. Okay, and then I meet you there, and then we'll see from here how many space we're gonna skip. Definitely, I'm sure it's not going to be 2. It's probably going to have to be 3. Okay, so if you need to slow down the video, in the description box there's a link. I show you how to slow it down. Turn your closed caption on, pause, take notes, or rewind, and take your time with it. It's very simple, but you have to be focused. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get ready to add on my 7th flower at the edge. Now when I look here, I still have a little bit left of that edge to complete. So my first skip, I'm going to do the normal like we've been doing, 1, 2, and come into the third, and then 1, 2 into the third, and then I'm going to skip 3 just to get myself organized here so it doesn't start pulling too much on the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to do my 1 chain, create my other granny, add my other flower, I should say. Okay, so I'll meet you as soon as I finished adding this one on here. So my 7th granny that I'm adding on, so I'm still adding the same way, coming in my back shell here on the flower that I'm just attaching to with a single, and a single where I've attached that square. Coming in, doing my 3 double crochet. Oh, wrong. I have to complete that square, don't I? Well, the corner, I should say. Okay, the 2 thing, I get carried away when I'm talking. I lose myself in between. The good thing, I catch myself right away. Okay, so now we're going to skip 1, 2. Okay, come back in because we're almost ending the edge there, and I don't want it to pull after on the straight part of the pattern. And again, 1, 2, So as you can see, we've pretty much finished the edging here at the corner, right? So now I'm going to skip this time 3, okay? So 1, 2, 3, coming in my 4th. See how that looks? And again, skip 1, 2, 3, coming in my 4th. That's because we're on the flat side already, you know, so we catch a bit of the corner. Supposed to do that one chain. Did I do that one chain? No. Okay, so on your 3rd corner, you have to do that one chain. And again, skip 1, 2, 3, come into your 4th. Come back in, complete your side. So one chain space, as we've been doing. The only difference was skipping those 3 here at the end of this 7th flower. I'll show you in a second once I complete these 3. So we're going to keep adding them on. So just to give you an idea, so it doesn't start crumpling up. Okay, so now we're going to keep skipping my 3, going to the 4th until we eventually get here. Okay, see how it's going to work it. If we need to cheat, then we'll cheat. No issues. Exactly how we just did on this one here. Okay, but I'll meet you here once I'm getting almost at the end here to start the corner. Okay, the curve. Okay, everyone. So we had done our 7 squares on the corner, and now I've added 4 more on the side. I'm on my 4th one on the side, and I'm right at the corner again. Okay, getting into the round corner. So on my 4th one, on my last shell here at the corner of the square, I'm only going to skip 2 and not 3. Okay, so once we add the 4th, the last corner, or I should say the 3rd corner on the square, I'm going to skip only 2. 1, 2, coming in the 3rd. Okay, coming back in and proceed again. Now because we are at the edge round corner, we're going to start skipping only 2 again until we get to this side here. Okay, so I'm going to keep skipping 2 going into the 3rd, and then I'll meet you once I have arrived here to see if we need to make an adjustment. Okay, like we did with the other one, but pretty much we're already doing an adjustment here because we're not skipping 3, we're skipping only 2 going into the 3rd. It's only at this corner on your 4th flower because the 7th one is still from that corner we did. Remember, it fell a little bit over, so we had skipped 2 and then we started skipping 3. Okay, so we kept skipping 3, went into the 4th, and on the 4th flower, just the corner one, I skipped only 2 and went into the 3rd. Okay. Okay, everyone, so I've done my 7 on this corner too. If you recall, we started with 7 on the first corner, and then we did 4 that we skipped. The 3 went into the 4, and then we did, and now I'm doing 7. I'm on my 7th one, and I finish exactly. This is the 6th, and this is my 7th, so I'm starting my 7th. And my 6th, I finished exactly where the motif ends, right? So now I'm going to skip 3 on my 7th flower, I'm going to start skipping 3 all the way until we hit the other flower at the end. So 1, 2, 3, going into my 4th. So simple. Continue to do your normal square. And again, skipping 1, 2, 3 into my 4th. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way until we meet the first flower. 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. One chain, 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. Completing my 3rd corner, 1 chain, and then continue on. So now, because we are on the side, again, we are on the side of the pattern, we're skipping 3, going into the 4th until we connect the very first flower together. Okay, so I'll meet you there. Okay, everyone, so I almost have, well, I have one left that I need to add on here. Now, if I skip only 3 and go into the 4th, I'm going to have extra. And I don't want to have extra because I need to connect here on the corner. So just before I close in the before last flower, instead of skipping the 4, I'm going to skip 5. Okay? So 1 chain. So instead of skipping 4, I'm skipping 5 spaces. Or I should say skip 4 going to your 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4 into my 5th. Okay, so skip 4 and going to your 5th, or else we won't arrive properly at the edge. Okay, so continue on again doing your side here, and then we're going to attach the last square, and on the last square we'll be skipping 4 going into the 5th in order for us to get it in properly. And like I said, these things are just, sometimes they end up perfect and sometimes they don't. I don't do counts, so I go with the flow. And no issues, no biggie. It doesn't change anything on the pattern at all. Everything comes together just the same. So 1 chain and continue to do your last square. Okay, so I'll meet you right at the edge there. Okay, so ready to do my 2nd corner here. I'm going to skip 4, going to my 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4 into my 5th. And doing this all the way to the end of this side here, so we can arrive properly at the other flower. 1, 2, 3, 4 into my 5th. So skipping 1, 2, 3, 4 into my 5th. Once we have it blocked, everything comes together, so don't stress over it. I'm going to come directly, so I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm coming directly inside of that middle I'm going to continue the middle, of course, of the other square. I'm going to continue to do my corner, coming behind, single into, so we're connecting the squares now, the last one. Okay. Now, of course, we didn't complete here, so we're not connecting that 3 double crochet, right? Because that's part of the corner here. We'll only do it when we come around to it. So 2 chain and complete your corner here. We'll complete this one when we get to it, once we go around this row. So we're going to complete this corner of the square, 1 chain, and then we're just going to complete all of the squares here like that to complete the square, right? 1 chain, coming into the second corner, we're going to close this corner up of the square. So 3 double crochet. I'm going to do 1 chain actually, and I'm going to come right on the connecting, and then with a single, and then going directly into the next square already. So we're closing up the corners. Okay. So I did 1 chain, I've closed with a single here and went completely in. So let me just show you what it looks like. The connecting. So just bring it up a little bit more, because I know it's hard for you guys to see. So it doesn't change anything. And once we block the pattern, okay, with a little bit of water spray, or I use laundry softener in a little bottle, and spray it, and then just stretch it, and everything comes full together. So we're going to do that exactly what we just did, all the way around the same way, and then I'll meet you at the end. And as you can see here, this really doesn't change anything on the pattern once it's blocked and stayed completely together. Okay, so I believe I have 21 flowers if I'm not mistaken, but everything will be in the description box right from the beginning. You can check out in the description box how many flowers, because you will need to create them before you start the pattern, so you can just keep going and add them on, right? Okay, so basically we're completing the corners, and we're just going to continue 1 chain, 3 double crochet, 1 chain, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1 chain. We're going to attach it right here with a single and go directly inside of the other space and complete that corner.